Welcome in. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome into the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this evening?
Oh, Mr. Nick, I am having my normal Tito's, orange, and cran. I need you to tell me what you're drinking in our show for today.
So, Roman Reigns was taken out by the Bloodline. We have AEW All In predictions, and we have Monday Night Raw Fallout. It's Friday, August 23rd, 2024. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Friday. It's been a week. It's been a week since we last saw you. We missed you so. We have a lot to catch up on. We have WWE and AEW recaps coming your way. It's an action-packed show this week. Nikki, before we get started into phase one, which is Monday Night Raw, any weekly phase one of our cinematic universe today. Any of your takeaways from this past week, or what was your biggest takeaway?
I think Raw was very much like moving the chains, moving the stories along bit by bit, because obviously we have more time before Bash in Berlin. But Dynamite, mixed bag, mixed feelings as per usual. And we got a lot going on SmackDown in a couple hours.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Dynamite, the go-home show, so a lot of promos, a lot to get through there. Couple matches. Raw had a lot of really good wrestling on Raw this week that we're going to get to, and some interesting storylines and some interesting takeaways. And SmackDown, obviously, we're going to prep you for SmackDown tonight, the takeaways from last week that bleed into tonight's show. So we want to hear from all of you. If you're new here, hit the old like and subscribe button. We love having you. Let's get right to it. If you missed it, these are some of the highlights from this past week's Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. So we open Monday Night Raw with our World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther, in a showdown with the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. So I guess coming off of this whole promo of last week, he was kind of, what's a good way to describe it? I guess still...
You can tell it stung and that he got RKO'd last week, but he was trying not to show that it stung him. But he did say, you made this personal.
They're trying to extend the feud, right, and make it more personal. He basically comes out and says that Orton's RKO on him was a one-trick pony.
He's a one-trick pony.
And that it's never going to happen again. And at Berlin, he's going to give him the beating of a lifetime. I think he said he was going to bloody him.
He's going to leave him bloody. In Berlin.
Bloody
alliteration.
Bloody in Berlin. So they go back and forth. Ultimately, what it leads to is Ludwig Kaiser interfering and taking down or attacking the knee. I guess, is it injured knee? An injured knee of sorts of Randy Orton, leading to their main event match later in the evening.
Was it already booked?
I
don't think this attack led to. I think that was the main event all along. But again, correct me in the comments down below. but I think that was already in the works.
Okay, so either way, it was a promo to set up the main event.
Yeah, to set up the main event and to, have Randy seemingly going and injured or limping into the match.
So, just stemming off of this promo and where they're headed in Berlin, I know, we know that there's going to be a pop. My question is, just off this promo, is Gunther the top heel right now in WWE?
So in Raw, maybe. I guess against the Judgment Day against Dom, I think it's again, two different kind of heel tropes. I guess if him versus Solo, I love Gunther very, very much. And to me, I don't think he's not a heel because he is a heel, but
I just
don't know if you consider him toppy top, but he should be toppy top.
I mean, when I'm thinking about like in terms of reaction, right? Like Dom Mysterio gets a crazy, crazy reaction on Raw, so he might be close. Logan Paul definitely gets a hardcore heel reaction. Solo has been to some extent, but I think that's just kind of auxiliary because of Roman, the Roman rub, so to speak. And on Smack, I can't think of anybody else that challenges Gunther as the top. Who would be the top heel for? I'm trying to think. Who were the last challenge? Definitely not the last heel challenger for Cody on SmackDown was AJ, and AJ was definitely not.
And the World Heavyweight picture, it just was Seth and Punk, and he fought Jay. There hasn't been
Yeah, I just don't.
Or do you consider the belt going from heel champion to heel champion? Because Damian Priest, when he got it, was quote unquote heel.
He wasn't a big heel. I wouldn't. Again, I didn't even think he was that over at that point in time either.
I don't know.
It's a question that I keep. Me with faces and heels. You know that. Yeah. So I'm curious to our audience. Is Gunther considered the top heel right now in WWE? I mean, who would rival him? It's Solo, Logan, Tom.
I just think it's different. I don't know, different heel heat. Maybe that's what I want out of my variety of wrestling, that heels having different temperatures, different that cool heel or that schmarmy, like how Miz was a heel, delusional chicken shit heels. I don't know. I feel like Gunther is very that old school foreign menace.
Yeah, he is. He's the old school wrestler. That's really what he is. And I think that's why people like him so much, and he got over so well. He wins with half-legged Boston crabs, power bombs. He means a myriad of different things, splashes. He doesn't have.
I know you love his splash.
Oh, I love it. But his Dracula splash. But again, I think he is right now. To me, he has to be. I think it's between him and Dom, which are ironically both on Raw. I don't think. I mean, Solo's up there, but
would you consider Drew?
Hmm.
Or is that him and the feud with Punk is just kind of so singular?
Yeah, that's
the personal.
That's a tough one.
I'm just trying to rack my brain through what are the other programs going on. So I don't know. Maybe you talked me into it. Maybe he is the top heel.
I think I did. I think I did it. Ladies and gentlemen, I did something. But let us know. Who do you think is the top heel right now in WWE? Is it Gunther, Dom Mysterio, Logan Paul, someone else that we're not even mentioning? Maybe it's someone on NXT.
No. I'm just trying to I think their top is Ethan Page is the heel champion now. Oba Femi, I don't know if you consider him heel or
no. I think he's a face. After this past week, he got attacked by Tony D'Angelo. So
Wes Lee just got Tony. They turned. Wes Lee just turned.
Yeah.
I think there's anyone at NXT
exactly
in the heel level.
Gunther's my dude. He's the top heel. Can't challenge me on it. But I'm sure someone will come up with something. Yeah, it's a matter of opinion. That's what's so fun about this. So we move along, which brings us into what was, I guess, the first scheduled match of Raw later in the evening. So where we saw Butch.
Oh
my gosh, not Butch. Sorry, because he makes the comment. I almost
says her no.
Pete Dunne.
Peter Dune.
Peter Dune, excuse
Peter
me.
Dune.
Peter Dune.
There you go.
And challenges Sheamus after his heel turn or him turning on Sheamus, whatever you want to call it. Really, again, solid match. Like, as Sheamus always talks about, going to be a banger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, they actually had a couple of really cool spots where, like, he Dunn reversed the beats of the Baldrum and then eventually got hooked back in it using, because, you know, again, like, both of these guys are so, like, physical in their wrestling style that it was a nice unique take on it. Ultimately, though, Sheamus ends up hitting the Brogue Kick and taking the victory. So my takeaway and my question for you, Nikki, and our audience here, is Pete Dunne's push over before it started.
How dare you? I'm upset that he lost. I don't know if they're gonna have a rematch or is this the nail in the coffin for this. I loved Peter Dune since the UK Classic when he like beat up what's his face that you love, Tyler Bate, and he had like the shortest of short hair back then. And he was just like this, like that heel that was cool, that like didn't give a you know what, and just wanted to, you know, he was a bruiserweight. He just wanted to beat people up. I missed him. I don't know. Unless he moves on to something completely different. Maybe putting him in the IC. I guess we'll get to that later. The IC tournament thing that's coming. I don't know if we've seen a bracket for that yet.
Oh, no, we haven't seen it. Which, ironically, I'm glad you mentioned that. Later in the evening on Raw, Jey Uso announces that he's entered the Intercontinental Tournament.
Are you getting to the Braun Breaker?
I wasn't gonna we were gonna kind of touch on it, but
I don't have any notes, so Nick is running the ship today.
Exactly. Run this right into the ground.
But Breaker announced that Adam Pearce told him that there's going to be a tournament starting next Monday for a shot at the IC belt. Right. And then later, Jay did the promo that he's going to enter. I'm just wondering maybe if you're going to move Peter Dune into this. I'd rather see him do something, or at least he should have won over Sheamus. I don't know if his push is over. I want to hopefully not go that far. But maybe this leads to bigger, better things. Maybe he just needed to get his toes in the door. Maybe this is just a quick feud to shake the bush off him. I don't know. I think I did like the interview. I believe it was Jackie Redmond, not Kathy Kelly. I think it was Jackie when he was in the stand saying like, "Don't call me Butch." Nick.
Well, he also in this match, you know, Sheamus has a great line. He's like, "Are you Butch or are you bitch?" And I just like, got him.
I hope not. I think there's too much potential, and he's been producing the speed matches.
Yeah, so maybe he's just kind of
like, I don't want to see him go into producer role.
As a hell of a hand, as they like to say.
Oh God, he's not like a Sean Spears. Don't put him on that level.
But I don't know. I mean, do you want to put some more respect on Pete Dune's name? Peter Dune.
We're actually saying his name.
Say his name, and he loses the match.
He was on NXT. He did obviously he lost the match to our boy Joe Hendry. But then also the character that he's portraying in NXT feels different than the character he is on Raw, which I don't necessarily love. Like, I get they're having people go move around, but kind of stick to the same.
Yeah. I hear you. They need to be on. I need consistency in my life.
You're just going to move him back down to NXT? I don't want to say down because it's not. It is down, but it's not down, but it's down, but it's not. Move him over to NXT. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. I don't know. I hope not.
I can see that. I mean, even the Final Testament, I think, needed to be moved back down there, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get into it. But I digress. Moving along on to Raw to one of my personal favorites. Girl, Ivy Nile.
You would.
Made her. Oops. Made her in-ring American-made debut, I guess. You want to call it?
Making everything a debut.
It is a debut.
Wrestled on Raw before.
I know, but this is her taking a suplex.
You just want to see her butt in that picture.
And ultimately, the Pitbull gets a little over, I think, on Maxine. Actually, to be honest, this match, I was really impressed with Maxine.
I didn't even give them time, and actually, not like had a lot of time for this match, but something.
Yeah, I was really, really impressed with what she showed athleticism. She's improved tremendously. I wonder how much of that, like, I know they had all the vignettes with Gable and her. Like, I wonder if that was the truth.
She's got to be. Like, if,
Yeah, I mean, but she's definitely just drastically improved. So, regardless, super, super impressed with her. Ultimately, a very short-lived match that results in the Wyatt 6 showing up.
So, of course, in the middle of the match, then you have the lights go up, the typical dun-dun, then the smoke, and then Maxine, I believe, does a dip. And Ivy's in the ring, and then Nikki attacks Nikki Abbey. I really hate that they don't know what they're calling them. She tackles her, does a flying, her crossbody, whatever. She hits Ivy, and then the boys go after Loomis, Casey, and Rowan.
Which, how can she? I'm impressed with her, like, wrestling in that wedding dress deal. Anything?
I mean, like, the Headbangers did it. They wrestled in skirts.
Yeah, but I feel like this is like it's all the way up. Like
it's like a singlet. I don't.
Yes, I don't know. It seems like it would be like. I guess the Headbanger. Fair point.
Yeah. I think you probably just get used to it. Like IRS wrestled in suspenders and a shirt and like.
It seems more constricting. I don't know. It seems
poor
more
Mr. Chase wrestles in a sweater.
Yeah. Oh God.
So,
but I digress. So yes, going back, they ultimately, you see the 3-on-3 or 4.
3-on-3.
Yeah. Showdown, which leaves Chad Gable alone once again, surrounded by the Wyatts.
And look at that flowing locks. Good Lord, he's like Fabio or a cover girl.
You're a big fan of this new.
I just thought it was like the mask is different and the hair is different. I don't know if it's gonna be different for when he actually wrestles because it seemed like more of a flat mat. I'm assuming these masks are super expensive, and the more intricate and more detailed they are, obviously they're more expensive. So I think this seems like a flatter, probably more breathable mask to wear. I don't know about the long flowing hair, but I'm into it.
So ultimately, this leads to a couple questions that I have.
Okay.
Ed chiming in. It's so dope. Yeah, he likes it. He likes it.
I think it looks
good. Ed, we know if you're a fan of the show, you know that Ed is a big fan of the Wyatts as well. As a So my question about this. So this is ultimately leading. There's what, like, it seems like the 12th time that he's gotten Sister Abigail in the last like month.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Chad Gable. But I just wonder, this is ultimately leading towards Monday night, this upcoming Raw, where we will see the in-ring debut of Uncle Howdy in an actual match for the first time. And I wonder, is it too soon for an Uncle Howdy in-ring debut? And is this the right time on Monday Night Raw to put him in the ring? Should it be a pay-per-view, a bigger event? Like that's kind of how.
What city are they going to be in?
Do not know.
I would say it's because I don't remember. Is it like a big city that maybe Bray has history in or from, or?
Let's see. Where is?
And then also it's not I understand. I agree. Part of me
DC.
like,
No, wait. No, the 26th, Providence, Rhode Island.
Did something happen with Bray in Rhode Island?
I'm sure you could tie back some.
That's what they did, because I didn't remember that they debuted in Baltimore, so maybe this has some significance. I understand maybe a little too soon, maybe it should be on a pay-per-view, but if this turns into like a big thing, that something happens, hopefully won't be mad at it. So far, I've liked what they've done, and I want to trust the process. I know we've been burned before, more times than any wrestling fan can count. But I don't know. I just want to have hope in it. I don't want to sit on it.
And then, so that's one of the questions that I have about this whole, sort of, is this too soon for that to happen? Should this have been a pay-per-view match? Because I believe it really should have. It should have probably happened at SummerSlam. I get, the Raw after. You don't want to cram too much in, Tony. But I don't know. I just feel like this match is pay-per-view worthy, and it's going to main event Raw on Monday, but I don't know that it could be on Raw.
Is that the character and Bray Wyatt deserve the pay-per-view? Because you said pay-per-view worthy match. Bo Dallas has not wrestled in 5 years on WWE. Is there going to be ring rust? I think Bo and Bray wrestled very differently. I don't know. I'm interested to see what kind. I would want him to do, his stuff, and obviously they're going to sprinkle Bray stuff in, obviously, Sister Abigail. But I don't know what kind. And then we know Chad Gable's incredible. I don't know what. Can Chad Gable, I'm not crapping on Bo, because I do think he's a good wrestler, but also he hasn't wrestled 5 years. He's wearing this mask. I don't. Is it going to be different?
It depends.
And
is he wearing a body vest and all that stuff?
If you put it on a pay-per-view that only has we've during 5 matches on these, I don't want to say smaller pay-per-views, but the France one, that was only 5 matches. So if it's not going, you're maybe not. I don't know if I'm.
Ed made a good point. Does Gable need to care? But Gable can. Gable can. That's the thing. So.
And I'm not taking anything away from Bo. I would love for them to put on a 5-star classic. I just don't know what they're trying to get at. Is this going to main event and turn into a thing? And it's not going to be an actual match. If it's not going to be if they're not having a legit actual match, then they shouldn't put it on pay-per-view. It depends what angle they're going for.
Yeah, fair point. And then the other question then it leads into is, if this is the singles match, is Monday the end of the feud with the Wyatt Six and American Made? Because we've talked about the singles match hasn't happened. They've done a 6-man tag, but not the full.
Yeah, we do a mix.
Yeah, so would they still? Because we've talked about War Games and Survivor Series for so long with Bloodline, but maybe this is. I don't know that it didn't last that long, but maybe they carry it somehow through there.
I don't know if you'd have 2 men's War Game matches.
Yeah, Ed agrees with you though. He said Bo's fantastic, but he gets your concern.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's something you haven't. Last time you saw him wrestle, he was B team, right? Because they were
B team. Yeah.
It was go.
Oh.
There we go. I just I don't know. There's so many iterations of him in NXT, then him being the Miztourage, and then B team and the Outcasts, and I think there was something else in there, and then he came back as Uncle Howdy that you just saw him jump off a platform into a crash pad. I don't, and that was I don't know.
All right.
But again, if it's just going to be an angle, not a legit 20-minute match, then you're not putting it on pay-per-view. Or maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 is a little too much, but I don't know. I'm not necessarily mad at it not being on pay-per-view. I want to see if this is just the feud to introduce Howdy, and Howdy goes on and actually wrestles Chad and goes on to wrestle more people, then you have that bigger match on maybe on a pay-per-view.
That's fair. We want to hear from all you. Do you want this feud to continue to go on? Do you want to see more of the Wyatt Six and American Made, or do you want to see the Wyatt Six move on to other families? Be interesting to see.
Did you see American Made move on to other families?
No. I said the Wyatt Six to move on to other families, and I used the air quotes. I did it like this. But yes,
I do like their shirts though. I looked on that night on WWE shopping to have it.
American Made.
Yeah, the American Made one. No.
Yeah, I feel like it was a month too late. I wish I had this for 4th of July. That shirt would have been awesome for 4th of July.
But
I don't know. What do y'all think? You like the American Made shirts? Hit the like if you like the American Made t-shirts. If you don't, Hit the like as well.
Just like it.
Just like it.
Just like it.
Exactly. So we move along to getting us into what ended up being a promo package between, oh my gosh, CM Punk and your boy, I call him your boy, I don't know why, Drew McIntyre.
That's Lisa.
I know it's Lisa's.
Your man.
So ultimately, we get the reveal of what we expected, the strap match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. So again, he reaches, it was a pretty decent face promo, I thought, for him, with reaching into his pocket, pulling out all the bracelets and saying how important it is that fans travel to, all around the world to see him and things like that. Which also reaffirmed my decision not to go to Fanatics Fest this weekend when he says that people travel from like Thailand and all over the world to see him. It's like, okay, I'm not waiting in that line. But anyway, ultimately McIntyre comes out. What? Okay, sorry.
This is next week. I'm doing my notes. When he talks about first he calls himself he's the Taylor Swift for men.
Oh yes, I did.
I don't know how I feel about that at all. But he said he did make Drew McIntyre the bracelet, and they're going to have a strap match. And I'm trying to think back because they said it's the one that you have to touch all four corners. And maybe I'm confusing it with the bull rope match, but I was like, when's the last time they actually had a legit strap match that they had to touch all four corners? I feel like Steven, if you're not a Jazz Club, you let us know. Ed, maybe I think this is like a stipulation they haven't done in a while, so I'm excited about it. That's the one you have to touch all, incapacitate your opponent and touch off.
Javier, we're talking about CM Punk right now. The phone lines we're going to open up shortly, probably in a little bit, probably closer to the 7 o'clock hour, to be honest. We've got a lot to get through this week. But we're talking about CM Punk. If you want to write in the comments, we'll read off the comments as we get towards the phone portion of our extravaganza.
Beware of Dog. Was it that long ago?
Ed said, well, I gotta read it.
No, because
Ed says Austin versus Savio Vega.
Yeah,
maybe.
Which is the paper Beware of Dog one.
It might be. Yeah, that's a good question.
But I was saying it's I don't know. I like the stipulation. I think it makes sense. I think they're kind of backpedal a little bit because last week Punk was like, it's not about the bracelet. He can keep it, and now he's making it about the bracelet again.
I know.
I was like,
all for a bracelet.
Is it and it's like, oh,
there it is.
Because and then I always shout out Cultaholic on this show that they were joking that AJ and Larry's souls are stuck in the bracelet, and that's what they're fighting for. Why would he care so much about this bracelet? I don't know. So it's back and forth.
It's.
But I'm excited about the stipulation.
Important.
I don't want to hear next week. I don't want to hear another promo about the stupid bracelet.
So thank you for saying the stipulation, because that was my question. Was the strap match the best stipulation for Punk McIntyre? That's my question to everybody is, I don't know. I know the one reporter went and asked Punk after one of his first matches, Hell in a Cell first match at one of the press conferences. So I know that's not going to happen, but
he's like, you marks don't know how to book. And it's your first match wouldn't be in a Hell in a Cell where you're supposed to close out feuds.
Exactly.
I think this is just enough of a stipulation to make it interesting and brutal, and hopefully bring that, because I think that was the problem that people had with the SummerSlam match, that to have this blood feud and you're talking about my wife and you're talking about Larry and you stole my bracelet and blue, that it wasn't this vicious fight. And I think this will give that opportunity to make it personal.
Javier says, I would much rather see ECW rules or Extreme Rules match would have been better. Yeah, I agree. I'm not. I guess because the only reason that I could kind of go along with this is because the bracelet and the tying up of your linked together, that storytelling is nice. But yeah,
to me, it keeps you in the ring, and I think we've seen a lot of the street fight. Again, we saw a street fight. What they call them between Miz and Bronson? A no DQ match? They're all the same. Anyway, the stipulation.
Oh yeah, no DQ.
Yeah, so they had the no DQ match, and you had so many of the Bloodline rules match. This, you can have the stipulation, have a weapon, but then still keep it in the confines of the ring.
Herman, sorry, Wrestler, you're writing in the private chat. That put it in the main chat, and I can actually transfer it over. I know some of you guys, which much appreciated, are eager to call in, so we appreciate that, and we look forward to chatting with you soon. But yeah, for now, as we get through the topics, just throw the comments in there, and I'll read them as they come up.
One of my favorite matches, and this is hard to say, with John Cena and AJ, that Royal Rumble match, they stayed in the ring the whole time, and I had an incredible match. Like, nothing, like, I guess not necessarily a blood feud to me. I don't have to go out into the fans, in the stands, and, like, throw beer in your face. Like, I think this can bring the brutality, but maybe keep it more confined and make it feel different than all the other matches we've been seeing lately.
That's fair. Javier says, yeah, but a real ECW rules match is something that hasn't been on. Yeah, well.
Can they do a real ECW?
Yeah, I don't even know if they could do that anymore.
All the fans throw chairs at into the ring? I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I
maybe
agree.
Netflix era, maybe in
at least no DQ
would have January. I don't know. I'm excited for something different. But
we'll see. But let us know. I mean, did you like the stipulation? Did you want to see something else? I mean, I know Javier wants to see Extreme Rules, but as more people are chiming in and coming in here, we're talking CM Punk and Drew McIntyre being a strap match, which was announced on Raw this past week officially. What do you all think? What do you want that match to be? Is it the right next step in their feud? Let's get these comments. Herman Cage checking in. Eddie versus Bradshaw's last match I could remember.
Was that a strap match or was it a bull rope match?
It's a good question. Eddie Bradshaw.
Because isn't that I believe that's the match when like Eddie bladed too much and basically almost got in the ring and there was so much blood. I believe it's that match. But was it a bull rope match? Again, I think what's the difference between a strap match and a bull rope is the belt. I guess we probably
it was Judgment Day.
What
2004. Can't get the match.
Oh, he's saying it's a 4-corner match. I'm trying to wrap my name.
I think I found the wrong match.
But like maybe I guess still Eddie JBL was what 2003, 2004?
Yeah, early aughts.
Yeah. So again, it's been a while.
So he said. So Herman says it was 4-corner.
I think.
Yeah. See, Herman kind of agrees. It's fine. The longer we talk about the bracelet, the dumber it sounds. I tend to agree. Oh, here we go.
Ed, get out of here. No one wants that match.
Oh.
See,
Ed,
Herman said
gotta love Google.
Eddie JBL. I was like, oh yeah. No one wants to remember a Karrion Kross match. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. So
this iteration of him.
But yeah, again, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Lisa, we knew Lisa was going to chime in on this one. Strap match, no. Street fight where they beat the hell out of each other, yes, please. And Ed said, "Don't hate on his boy Kevin." Is that Karrion Kross? Is that his name, Kevin? I don't know.
I can't. At least they grew his hair, his facial hair started to grow back.
But I don't know. It's an interesting discussion that. Again, I guess storyline wise, I could go along with it because of the whole bracelet deal and everything else that we're
Also, maybe a callback to him, Punk, and MJF having that dog collar match, which is a great match. I don't think WWE would do a dog collar match. Again, correct me down below. Karrion Kross, wherever we had one in 2021, I don't remember. But maybe this is the way to give a nod and a wink, but necessarily I don't see on USA them doing, or on Fox doing like a choke thing.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Netflix. Netflix is coming. We're just 6 months too early. So we move along. I'm going to glance over a couple of the mid-card feuds, I guess, of Raw this past week. So as we go through, Odyssey Jones didn't join the New Day, but he helped out the New Day in a 6-man tag.
Doing what's dirty.
Yeah. There is, again, continual please. No, I almost said that. Seed planting. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. Of the New Day. So we talked about this last week. Is the New Day breaking up? Where's Odyssey Jones going? And there's all this.
Sorry, Lisa put it funny.
I don't know. A match where the winner gets all the bracelets. Yes. All of them. It's like my niece would look.
It's Brooklyn in a match. Brooklyn would take all.
So ultimately,
you know.
Exactly. So ultimately, again, they get the victory, a rare victory for the New Day nowadays. I do have the soundbite, but
No,
it's too late.
Keep it hogging.
So we're planting seeds towards the New Day breaking up. Curious to see where that heads, but I think we're just continuing along this path where we'll see Odyssey Jones look like a force for the next couple of weeks until hopefully maybe Big E comes back. But not wrestling, but I mean like in the
to bring them back together. I don't know.
Or manage somebody. I would be happy with him managing.
Again, I keep saying he needs to be on commentary in NXT. But like you saw the look when Kofi got the hot tag and he hit Odyssey and not Woods. You saw like the camera made sure they had the reaction of his face. So again, sowing the seeds of discontent.
Break them up, all right. Yeah, I tend to agree. So we tend to agree that they're on that path towards breaking up the New Day. We're going to continue to look at this, but I think it's going to be in the mid card until ultimately something happens. I'd like to see Odyssey Jones as a heel.
I was going to say, I want Woods as a heel.
Oh, no, I definitely want Woods as a heel. I want Woods with Odyssey because I think
with
the heavy like Odyssey.
Toe?
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. Well, who cares? He's been around long enough.
Sure.
He can do it. But so again, we glance over that a little bit. Moving along, then Bronson Reed had another match and no disqualifications. Talking about no disqualifications.
Yeah. So Miz is trying to defend the honor of his one friend, which I'm like, oh, R-Truth, because he killed R-Truth last week and wanted the match. Again, the typical weapons DQ. I don't know. They're all the same thing.
Yeah, Bronson Reed looked like a monster in this, though.
Right.
He broke the kendo stick. He really looked as strong as they can make. I mean, again, he's taking out everybody. I still think. I don't know if I mentioned this last week or I just said it to you. I think they're heading towards Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. There's too many B's.
It's the same name. Braun Breaker's real name's Bronson.
But okay, keep going. Sorry.
No, I hope he should get a spot in the IC tournament. But I think Miz is like the perfect person to kind of put him in there to make Reed look like a monster. And then I don't know if you want to just get to what happens next. Should add more.
Yeah. So ultimately, talking about bees, the next challenger for Bronson, too many bees. Bronson Reed.
Just say Reed.
Reed.
Braun Strowman comes out and challenges Bronson Reed.
Which also, like, not that it should matter, but I think it should. Where has Braun Strowman been in this whole, like, Judgment Day thing? Like, shouldn't he kind of be, like, doesn't he hate Judgment? I mean, maybe he doesn't like Priest as much, but maybe in that whole feud, I feel like he could be someone that should have maybe.
Correct. Didn't he have, like, something that he's coming off an injury?
Oh, I'm sure he probably is. I mean, but still, like, I don't know. I felt like I get it. You have the two big dudes, meaty men smashing.
Big meaty meat. I hope they feed Strowman to Reed. Reed going over Strowman, I think, will do big things.
I agree. I think that's exactly what's happening. He's just another big guy. Braun Strowman is getting, unfortunately, I think he's getting the Big Show treatment now, where like they're gonna put him in feuds against like tag teams and like groups to just keep the group strong for a little bit. That's ultimately kind of where I see it going. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but it seems like for what it's worth, I didn't catch on to it, but from everything I'm reading and then kind of hearing a little bit, but it seems like Reed is getting over like crazy, like the tsunami, like the reaction with the move and everything else. I don't know.
But I think him taking out Seth Rollins is a huge flipping deal. Taking out the beloved R-Truth. Like him going after two people that the fans absolutely adore.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, maybe that's a little hard for Seth, but I adore Seth Rollins. But taking out like a big name and a beloved person, feed him the monster next.
No, that's fair. Fair point. So we move along to the other, I think, major storyline of Raw as we finish up here, where the Judgment Day ultimately setting a trap for Damian Priest, where Dom Mysterio calls out Priest for a singles match, and he claims that everyone's going to stay behind, blah, blah, blah. There's a promo earlier in the night where Priest is with Rhea, and he understands it's a trap, but he wants the shot.
Right. He said he knows it's a trap, but it's worth it to get his hands on Dom just for a little bit. And I think that's the one thing I liked. Like sometimes, like the white meat baby faces, like they said they're gonna stay on the back. Oh my god, they did it! Like they were like, okay, we know something's gonna happen. We know it's a trap. We're not gonna be ambushed, but we're gonna go out there and fight anyway. I think because sometimes I worry that they make baby faces look stupid. And this still made them like, we know it's a trap, we know something's gonna happen, but we're gonna charge into battle anyway. So I like that they kept that, like the Terror Twins are some badasses, they're gonna go in no matter, even though they're outgunned.
Yeah, exactly. Well, again, it makes them look super strong, and that's why I guess to the point from earlier with Braun Strowman not being involved in the storyline, they probably don't need him because they look that much stronger. So ultimately, there's a bunch of fighting on the outside. And Rhea comes down to help out Priest as expected. The whole groups are involved, right? Both groups are involved. Old Judgment Day versus New Judgment Day. And Rhea gets alone with Dom and has a moment alone where she blows him a little kiss and then gives him the Glasgow kiss.
I love it. I love her headbutt. I love the way he sold it. Just mwah, chef's kiss all day. I can't wait for this match.
So ultimately, just like the last 2 weeks in a row, the Terror Twins are getting over on the Judgment Day 2.0, whatever we're calling it, JD 2.0, until our girl, who I think should really be the new leader of the Judgment Day, not Finn Balor. Our Jersey girl herself, Liv Morgan, shows up with a steel chair in hand, her tool of choice, her weapon of choice, I should say, which is how she got the belt in the first place, and everything changes.
Yeah, so she takes out Rhea, and then basically, then the rest of the JD, including JD, swarm
Priest.
And then they're in the ring, and like they're holding up Priest's head. I don't know if you have that photo. They're holding up Priest by the hair, and he's holding Rhea. And it's like you can tell like he's trying to protect her.
I might.
And Liv just beats her up bad. So I might like it's itchy. But then they both all hit all the hits.
Every finishing move,
yeah,
as expected. Is this it?
No, there is a photo before that. Finn's holding up Priest by his hair, and like Rhea's in his kind of lap, like they kind of are, and he was like holding her, like they were kind of like laying on each other, and he was holding it. I don't know.
I think I remember it, but yeah, I didn't. Unfortunately, I don't have a graphic.
But I feel like they need like the 2.0 needed to kind of look good.
That's why I'm worried that not worried, but they were too weak in the last couple of weeks because of how easily they were beat up.
Right. So they needed this huge beatdown.
And I ultimately see them getting over. Like I think Dom and Liv are winning at Bash in Berlin.
I tend to agree with you, but we have a couple weeks to do those predictions.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting, but ultimately the Judgment Day stand tall over the Terror Twins on Raw. So furthering along what will be, is next week is our preview show. So we will see Dom and Liv take on Rhea and Priest in Berlin. So if you are new here, come back next week as well. We're going to predict that show as we get right around to our predictions for the AEW show right now. Just wrapping up, any last thoughts on the Judgment Day before we get to what was the main event? And we'll probably skim over because it's pretty.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, that's a quick. No, again, I think this Raw just moved the chains along. Like, it's almost football season, guys. It's moving the links down the
That's
field.
a great line.
Oh, you're welcome.
So Erman thinks it hurts the JD 2.0 because it's 2 versus 5. Yeah, it's tough. But Dom's always been like the weak link, and JD McDonough's JD.
Well, that's what they said last week, or also this week. Is like you kicked out the 2 muscles of the group. Like, you guys are dumb. But again, they did get their. It's not come up. It's when it's a babyface. I don't know what you want to call it, but like, I think it's gonna go. I think next week it's gonna go back and forth. But I think it's gonna, 2.0 is gonna win at Berlin.
Yeah, I tend to agree. But let us know. What do you think about the Judgment Day? Where do you think this is going? Next week is going to be a very big week in Berlin. What will happen there? Very interesting. So we move along.
Do you want to talk?
Well, we could skim over a little bit. We're trying to get to a lot. We're trying to cover 7 hours of wrestling in a 2-hour or less show. So ultimately, women's tag team title.
Oh, you're going here.
Well, no, I'll just quickly.
My 2 cents is like, I'm glad they're making them look good so they can get fed to Black Girl Magic.
Yeah, sadly, I just think my question is the tag division a mess or is it good? Like, I don't know. Like, I know these Unholy Union is pretty good, but the way that they've been booked is like, oh, we'll put you in triple threat matches.
They won since winning the belts.
Yeah, like, I feel like everything has been them like just stealing a pin.
Then also I feel like their name is so dumb. The PFC, Sonya, Zoe, and Shayna. Like, I feel like we haven't. Now they don't look like. No one looks great, and they should. Like, these are, and like, Damage Control. Good match, but it's like this doesn't do anything for anybody.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Hopefully, it's moving towards, again. I don't know why you even took the belts off of Jade and Bianca in the first place.
Because they needed some Scottish people to win in Scotland.
That's fair. So,
taking nothing away because I like them. Like, if you give someone a chip and a chair, they get like that's like poor Dakota Kai was crying about it, whatever, on her Twitch.
Erman says it's better than has been. It's a real tag team. Yeah, that's fair. They are good. They're pretty good. Like, it's just I
want them to have more time. Give these women an opportunity to put something on. Again, like, give me a chip and a chair and I can show you what I can do. And I just wish they had a little more time to show what they can do.
That's fair. So again, we're trying to cover a lot, so we might skip over some stuff. But if we skipped over something that you want to talk about, feel free to call in. We'll open up the phone lines and we can talk about it. So ultimately, the end of the night was Kaiser Orton.
Kaiser.
Solid match. Was given about 15 minutes to finish the show. Kaiser's, I think, benefiting right off of the coattails of Gunther. Ultimately, Orton stands strong with a couple of RKOs, including one on Gunther. And that is essentially how we close up Monday Night Raw, with Randy Orton standing tall, smiling, or sitting, smiling.
Well, he can stand tall every week. He's not leaving Berlin with the belt.
Exactly. I think meant to build up. Everyone knows who Randy Orton is, the legend killer, legend himself. I think it's building towards that Gunther showdown, and to just build up Gunther that much more. So that was Monday Night Raw. As much as we could take away from Monday Night Raw, if you had any other takeaways that we didn't touch on and you want to talk about, let us know in the comments below, or feel free to save them for the end, and we will let you call in and pick it up, and you could take up your beef then. But for now, we move along. So, part 2 of our extravaganza here on this Friday night happy hour.
Electric Boogaloo.
You love Electric Boogaloo. But we're going into our All Elite Wrestling portion of the show, where All In is this Sunday. Oh my gosh, they keep doing Sunday. Yeah, they're Sunday.
Don't get me started.
So, those of you who watched Dynamite or AEW fans, again, very big pay-per-view this weekend. So we are going to predict it, hopefully in 30 minutes or less. 20 minutes or less. But we're going to try and predict some of the card. If you didn't catch the card or you're not as big as AEW fan as maybe us or some of our listeners here, here is a rundown of the card. And if you like Bush, you will really like it. All right, All Elite Wrestling. We are all in, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're going to start with our opening match where I don't know.
You picked that. You don't console me. And you're like, oh, we decided this is going to open the card. I was like, no, I thought remotely. Just, this is the order you put them in and go.
That's fair. Yeah. So, we're going to open with the ladies. Mercedes Moné defending her TBS title against Dr. Britt Baker. And I did it wrong. TMD. You can't really say. But Nikki, ladies first, thoughts on this match? And probably more importantly, who wins?
It hurts my heart because I love Britt Baker, DMD. She's not winning. And it drives me bananas. The past 2 weeks, she's taken out Mercedes and she's held up the belt. Do not touch the belt if it's not yours. It's bad juju. But Mercedes wasn't there last year. Apparently, she's supposed to have this big, huge entrance. I don't think she's gonna lose it. Like, she's not losing it yet. I think it's too early for Mercedes to drop this belt. And I think if you ever want to believe the sheets, whatever went on with Britt Baker backstage, with some other higher up people, as much as I love Britt Baker, and again, if I'm wrong, I'd be happy. I don't think she's winning. It's Mercedes.
So, first off, I agree with you. I think Mercedes is winning. My question about this match, with Camille as the bodyguard to Mercedes, does Jamie Hayter return?
Again, if you believe the dirt sheets, apparently Jamie and Britt had falling out. So,
like in real life?
In real life. So I don't know how much real life is going to dictate this match. I miss Jamie Hayter. I don't see her coming out and saving Britt. I see Mercedes winning and Jamie coming out to be her next challenger.
That I can see that.
So I guess to your point,
or does Jamie come out to screw over Britt for that?
No, because then she'd have to go to a feud with Britt. I want her to feud with Mercedes. Again, I said this last week. I want her to take her off whatever Wrestle Dream, Arthur Ashe, all out Wrestle Dream, whatever. There's like a million pay-per-views coming.
That's fair. So
Full Gear, World's End.
It'd be interesting to see if Jamie Hayter does return. But I don't know. We want to hear from you. Do you think Jamie's going to return at All In? Or do they save it for maybe a following week? Or is she ready to return?
In 2 weeks at All Out.
But ultimately...
Where the heck I'm sorry.
It's fine. Ultimately, I tend to agree with you, Nikki, on this. That we both agree that Mercedes is going to be money in this.
Reluctantly.
Yeah, I guess technically reluctantly.
Again, she's getting in the ring. I don't want to hear her talk.
She's getting a lot of money
to
be in a mid-card champ.
We talked about this. I know we're trying to go quickly, but when Britt Baker said on Wednesday Dynamite, she's like, you were one of 4, I'm one of 1. I was like,
It was a great promo. Like, Britt Baker does a great promo every week.
I love her. I don't think it's time.
She might be the best promo in AEW, like consistently.
Against my Tony Storm.
Oh, yeah, it's tough. But ultimately, we agree on this selection. Do you all agree with us? Do you think it's going to be Mercedes Moné, or do you think it will be Britt Baker taking back taking her first TBS title. So we want to hear from all of you. Moving on. So I thought this seemed sensible to me. I don't know. You open up with the ladies.
Oh, just go through the cards, sweetheart. You don't have to book it in the order you think it's going to happen.
I think it would. So we move on to the Casino Gauntlet ladder match.
Help me, kid.
Oh, God. See what I have to deal with? The Casino Gauntlet ladder match. First off, I only know like 2 people that are in it.
It's a gauntlet. It's not a ladder.
Oh, I want to call it a ladder match. I want to make it
There's a ladder match later.
I'm making this a ladder match.
You're combining your casino matches.
There's too many casinos, too many ladder matches, too many matches. So the Casino Gauntlet ladder match, where I presume it'll be everyone who's not in a match. So first, my question to everybody here is, who will be the surprise entrant in the gauntlet?
I'm gonna go. He's a UK guy. Apparently, he's supposed to be signing. We talked about him the other. Did we talk about him the other week or just me and you? Michael Oku. He's the North champion. It's a UK indie promotion. Apparently, him and his wife, who's his valet, are supposed to sign with AEW. Apparently, he did the dark match on Dynamite. I think he's going to have a good showing. I don't think he's going to win, but he's going to have a good showing.
So
he's a North. Are you talking about Michael Oak?
Maybe?
He's the champion at North Wrestling. I only know because Tom Campbell does the announcing for it.
Ed's calling it the CM Punk Memorial Battle Royal.
Oh, I missed the other one. I was looking at progress.
So for me, I think, and this is news that just I think officially broke today. I believe Ricochet is going to be in the casino non-ladder gauntlet match. Because we all knew it. It was coming. Tony Khan can't help himself. It's an ex-WWE guy. You knew it was happening. So to Tony Khan, I say this.
I know you. You know you. And I know you know that I know you.
We knew you were going to sign him.
Yeah, I don't think this is a shocker to anybody. He's going to come in, he's going to have a good showing. You're going to get him with Ospreay eventually for whatever pay-per-view. Yes, please, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Rick O'Shea. We're going to change. No, he doesn't actually have to change his name, though. Because when he got, not re-signed, he's one of the few people that, as the rumors are coming out, that if you have a name prior to going to WWE on the indies, they're going to let you keep it. So like most people,
I don't
you made a name.
That's everybody. I think Ricochet got in early that they were allowing certain people to keep their name.
Maybe, I don't know. The Triple H regime is so different. So
yeah, because they made Kevin Steen become Kevin Owens. Like Tyler Black became Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but that was
John Moxley.
It was like 8 years ago.
How cool? How? And someone correct me down below. Ricochet and KO were not that far off. Same with Sammy.
No, I'm pretty sure they were. KO, I think, was on the main roster because I remember Ricochet being introduced into NXT in the crowd. He was one of those crowd introductions when that was a big deal.
He was a champion when he fought Cena.
Yeah, but
So I don't know. Someone correct me down below. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think there's a certain crop of people that are allowed to keep it, and a certain crop of people that aren't.
Yeah, he was brought in with EC3, and they kept the EC3 name. So, yeah. So I don't know. Fair enough. So regardless, Nikki, who you got winning the gauntlet match?
Oh, Hangman Page. I think it leads to my later predictions, but he's gonna get it. There you go, honey. He's gonna get a title shot. I think All Out, baby. Because we gotta circle back around to this when the belt's involved.
Yeah, I tend to agree. This is a feud that needs the belt in it.
I'm very upset. It's not. I hope Jeff Jarrett is in the gauntlet so they can have a moment together. I'm very upset they don't. But no, Hangman's winning.
I tend to agree because I think there could be a storyline later in the night that we will discuss. But Nikki and I both agree
so good there.
with the porn star mustache.
Oh, hello.
That is absolutely Hangman Page will be the winner. So, Nikki, we move along.
Yes.
to a very controversial match.
Oh no.
Well, for our listeners, it's a very controversial match.
Oh, yes, that one.
There's one particular person who really I know is chomping at the bit with this match. But before we get to him, Nikki, let's talk about the Darby Allin, Jack Perry, now recently as of last week, coffin match that was announced for the TNT belt. I have to get my stations right. Nikki, who do you got? What are your thoughts?
I said this last week. I'm going with Jack Perry because he's the king of the coffin match in AEW. He beat Christian in a very dramatic swoosh of a coffin drop. No pun intended. Then there's also Darby's also got a title shot at Arthur Ashe. And there was rumors that they want to put the belt on him. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that remotely. But no, I think they just put the belt on Jack Perry. It's a big deal that they put the belt on Jack Perry. I think he retains.
I just think Darby Allin likes setting things on fire. And this whole feud has been about him like burning Jack Perry. So like this should be an Inferno match, not a coffin match.
Oh my god.
But I don't know. He's a very divisive wrestler. Nikki and I tend to agree with Jack Perry winning because I think he designed his own belt. So you're not going to like
lose. I'm sorry. What do they call him?
Miro.
There we go. Sorry.
But yeah, but I think given he was a pillar, everything else, they weren't going to just do this just to do it. So. But that being said, there is one listener who is very, very passionate about one of the wrestlers in this match. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Ed. Let's bring him in. Ed, who you got? We know this is your hot button topic. You were so excited.
Oh, I'm super excited. I'm just glad that Tony Khan's he's letting us know when the piss break is. If you're out of snacks, it's the time to go do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's great. No,
Ed, it's damn well. This is the highlight. You are buying the pay-per-view for this match in particular. Oh
yeah, I'm shelling out $50 right now. Are you kidding me? We get tiny jorts and sweet beard over here. Like, honestly, Jack Perry's entire gimmick being CM Punk choked me and then got fired, and
yes,
and then serial abuser. I love it. Like, it's great. This is the highlight of the pay-per-view for me. I can't wait.
This is the coffin match that you want to be in the coffin.
Yeah, put me in the coffin. Honestly, I'm yawning as we speak. Have you seen how pale I am? I am a vampire. The coffin is my bed.
You can be like, if they just did the one at Triple Mania, whatever Triple M show, and they opened it, and it was like La Parka.
Yeah. And it's not, and it's not even LA Park. It's the La Parka that stole his gimmick and then died recently. Like, it's really, it's in really bad taste. Like, and then Del Rio won a title at that show. Like, what's AAA doing?
I don't know. Like, JBL came out with Nick Nemeth. I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
And then and they were all like, "We the people." That was rough.
Yeah,
that was rough. I mean, listen, I don't want to veer too far off. I'm just glad my boys MXM collection are killing it on Ring of Honor right now. That's a ton of fun. But like, I don't know, for a company that's yelling about how the WWE is the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling, and you've got Darby, who's going to be possibly your champion. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Very, very well put. Interesting point, Ed.
We'll see you later.
Yeah, we will catch you later.
I have a fun Gavin Rosdale story.
Yes, we will discuss this. We will discuss this later, and maybe we'll bring you back in with Little Machine Head. Ladies and gentlemen, he will be back, but his name is Ed.
And we're gonna play the thing again.
No, we're not. No. Well, there will be an encore of performance of it probably when he calls back in.
All right, so we're all Jack Perry. Darby's a piece of poop. No.
So we're all in agreement that, again, Jack Perry will retain as TBS champion. or TNT. Sorry. Oh, I knew I was going to do that. I made it to
You gotta think because Jade called it was like the TBS Championship. It was that bitch.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good way to describe it. That's fair. So moving on to the trio. Oh no, not trio. So we're gonna go Hook challenging for the FTW title with Jericho. My questions is a couple reasons. Like, first off, who do you got?
Hook. This is the 4th pay-per-view match they're doing this. I'm tired of Hook and Chris Jericho. I'm tired of this iteration of Chris Jericho. I know that's the point, and he gets to say that Fozzy gets to play Wembley again because he's saying himself to the stage. I don't care. They're ruining Hook. I don't like him with his stupid little eye patch. I don't like him cutting promos when we're like in his mouth. Enough. Give him the belt back. Let's be done with this. Let's move on with their lives.
Well, the other question is first off, you kind of answered it. Is Jericho elevating the FTW belt? I love the learning tree stuff. I think it's hysterical. That's why I don't know. It was tough for me to pick this match because I could see Jericho winning and keeping the belt for a while. But the fact that Hook can't challenge for the belt, what are you going to do with this belt for the next X amount of months with Jericho or whoever else would handle it? That's why I don't see it happening. So then the question becomes, is it time to retire the FTW belt? Is this just, we talked about there's so many belts in AEW. Is this time to get rid of this?
I feel like it was cute at first when they actually had what do they call them? The Taz Club, the Taz Stable, the Taz Club, whatever they were calling them. And then it was Ricky and Hobbs and Hook, and there was the thing, and then Hook has it. It's like legacy thing. Now it's too far gone.
Yeah.
Put it on Hook. Hook goes to NXT. Done.
Well, yeah, that would be the way to retire it. It's got to go back to Taz's family.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this.
So ultimately, we agree. We got the cold-hearted, handsome devil.
Yeah, just don't talk, honey. Just let me don't talk. Don't talk. Don't talk. I don't want to promo when the camera's in your mouth. I don't want to see your teeth. Just wrestle.
Moving along. Oh, I forgot I had that. I forgot this was on here. Chris, I think this is pre-show actually, so it's 0 hour. So this is probably not even on the card. I got in this match. I think you and I are in agreement with Chris Statlander's push.
I don't remember what I told you. I think I just said Stat needs to win, but I think Willow's gonna win. Or did I just tell you Stat?
Oh, I assumed that you which then I didn't realize that she's wearing flesh-colored stuff. And I had to do a double take for a second. I was like,
her boobs look great. Is this for the belt?
Go back.
I was getting my hair done today. Nick's like, give me your pick. So I was like, text me the card.
I don't think so.
All right, then Stat can win.
Actually, no, I think it is.
It doesn't matter. I think Statlander has not won in I don't know how long. Her being with Stokely and her turning heel has done nothing.
Yeah, I think ultimately you and I agree though on this. Whoops.
She quote unquote cost her the match with Mariah, but you knew Mariah was gonna win because again to get to Tony.
Yeah, it's fair.
I don't know. I know you're not. I like Willow. I know you're not a huge fan. I really used to love Chris Statlander, and when she first took that belt off Jade, I feel like it was such a big deal. And I really love Julia having it. To be honest, I hope she comes back soon. I don't know how long she's out with injury for. But I don't know. I feel like turning heel has done nothing for Chris, and she needs to win something.
Agreed. But again, so we'll see in 0 hour. But I think she's going to win. Moving into the trios title again, throwing stuff in. So there's a mystery team that's going to be in here, and
we know if you want spoilers.
Oh, you do? Oh.
No, I'm pretty sure that you. I don't want to spoil these for you, but I'm
for tonight.
Tonight. Oh, I guess Rampage. I don't know. It's spoilies. It's not. We know who it is, and I don't know if you want to spoil it.
Well, I didn't get it, so just tell me.
I'm pretty sure. I think it's Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. With Mox?
No, I think it's it's Claudio, Wheeler, and then some random.
But because I was going to say I thought Mox would probably be in the Battle Royal too.
No, he needs to leave him off TV. Let the man rest.
He said it's with Pac. with Pac.
Okay. I knew it was somebody because they again wanted to get Pac on the card. At some point, so this makes sense. Again, I don't think they're winning. I went again.
Yeah, Claudio, Yuta, and Pac.
Put your guns up. I'm going gang, gang, bang, bang,
bang, bang, bang,
bang,
gang.
bang. Your gang.
Not the gang, bang, gang. They might be doing that.
You might be doing that.
Who's to say?
The Ass Boys and Juice.
Rock Hard Juice Robinson.
I'm giving some Rock Hard Juice and Ass Boys.
See, I disagree. I think the patriarchy is going to retain here. I think that they're too strong, or still building up, and this was the next phase. Like Christian just challenged for recently in the last couple months for the world title. This keeps that group strong until Nick Wayne does something.
Oh God, his face bothers me. Again, talking about Blue Steel. I think you're probably right because he said in the promo the other week that he was like he's gonna hold all the belts at the same time and blah blah blah. I just really like the Bang Bang Gang.
No, that's fair. But yeah, I think we both agree in this one that. Well, no, sorry, we disagree. This is one of the rare. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but where we do disagree in the first couple picks. So I just think it makes more sense to have Christian and the patriarchy stay strong.
But I'm okay.
I think you pick with your heart too much.
I do. I don't like that. Look at him.
Unbelievable. Moving on to the tag belts. I know we get to it's exhausting when we get a lot of matches.
No, it's just this match makes me angry.
So, to me, this match is just, again, we have got to get everybody on the card.
Gotta get everybody on the card. I feel like the Acclaimed is there. I feel like even though they're being real weird lately, I think they should put the belts on the Acclaimed, to be honest. I'm really tired of the Young Bucks, and it sucks because I really used to, back in the day, used to really love them. I'm tired of this stupid gimmick. But that's the thing. I thought it'd be like FTR versus Young Bucks because last year FTR went over and they were saying that they lost because their friend got hurt and blue, and they're blaming Punk and all that crap. So I think the Acclaimed is there so the Bucks can win, get their win back, but not necessarily have to pin FTR.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
So I think Bucks go over, and I don't love it, but I think that's where they're going to go. And then then you have Perry winning, you have them winning.
Ed hates Max Caster.
I believe it.
But, see, to me, I tend to agree. I don't know. Part of me thinks that the Acclaimed is in here because it's the only younger team that's not established as much.
Aren't they number one? They had the title. They won the opportunity to have a title match.
Yeah.
And then it's like, then as much as I do love FTR, I probably own every single FTR shirt. Ooh, that. But I don't want to see the rematch. I have no desire to see Young Bucks. That was what we were clamoring for, was Young Bucks FTR. And now I'm just like, I don't want it. I don't care. I'm over it.
So
they won at Wembley last year, done and dusted. But they're rehashing it, and I'm over it.
Ultimately, Nikki and I agree. I think the Bucks remain as champions because they're still building up this Elite 2.0.
Yeah, and I think then you have Perry win, you have them win until the next Dynamite. They can be like, we retained all, we have all the gold, we retained all the belts.
Right. And the only belt that they don't have is the world title because potentially Hangman is their.
Yeah, but they're still trying to bring Hangman into the fold and all that.
After they fired him.
They fired him. And he came. Well, they suspended him. Then he came back, and then they said they would fire him if they didn't get into the blood and guts match. But I'm just over them. I'm real over them. They can go off TV for a little bit, to be honest.
Well, they're not going to do that because they get a double check probably, or an EVP check at least. So they want to get themselves over, and that's the problem when you have people that are booking that are also wrestling, like the Kevin Nash syndrome. I'm going to be champion as much as I want to be champion.
I just think I'm over them.
Fair enough. So moving along, we will take us to one of the hot buttons. So there are, we'll call it a triple main event, so to speak. Arguably the hottest in more ways than one storyline in AEW, where Mariah May has turned after winning the Owen Hart Memorial Cup on her mentor and her hero.
Lava.
Not lover. I think we're lovers. But in a dramatic turn, we end up all in London with these two. If you missed it, let's catch you up quickly on a little bit of that rivalry. We're back.
Are you prepared to die? Because I am. We're all gonna die. I'm just gonna write your eulogy. Oh, I love this feud so much. I am wearing my Tony Storm shirt. I know it makes sense for Mariah to win this, but I love Tony so much. Again, Nick says I do my heart too much, but no, I think I know I'm gonna be wrong, but I think Tony. I want Tony to keep it.
This has a lot of layers to it. It's one of the best built up storylines in AEW for sure. So I want to see this have a good payoff. I was a little worried seeing Mariah's couple matches that I've seen since she's gone. I'm like, oh God, maybe she isn't ready for this. But yeah, trial by baptism by fire. Sometimes you just got to go out there in front of whatever it is, 80,000 people, and take a shot. And hopefully, it's going to be
Tony will. It's gonna be a Bret Hart British Bulldog match. Tony's gonna be Bret Hart. Mariah's gonna be Bulldog, and it's gonna be everyone's gonna say it's phenomenal.
So before we get to our prediction or our final, I know you. But my question with this match, because they interviewed her and her boobs.
Yeah.
Does Mina, I can't pronounce, Shirakawa, get involved in this match? I had to slow it down. Slow it down for just a half second.
Yeah.
Got it out. Does she get involved in this actual match?
I can see her. Honestly, you can see her help her in either one. Like I think I said last week. Like, does she help Mariah get into a feud with Tony? Does she help Tony get in a feud with Mariah? I think that she has to. She has to be involved.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been interesting to make her the referee. Like that would have been a nice gimmick for this. We talked about Rollins with
but also look at and again, I'm not, I love my ladies. I'm not taking anything away from these ladies, but Seth, Punk, and Drew can call a match. I think with a referee, sometimes the referee needs to kind of help you through where we're at. And I think if Tony was carrying Mina and Mariah through something, I hope it's not I like Aubrey, but I hope it's like Remsburg or Turner to help them kind of go through this match.
That's fair. The other question that I have with this match is in London, who's more over? Because we were watching last week. I know it was different in but they're close to the UK. Who's going to be more over? I thought we were talking Mariah's moment, whatever, but I don't know. Tony's got a great reaction, and when you're good, you're good. So she might be more over, and I think that kind of, to me, influences my pick.
Or is it just a laptop for why can't everyone to get over and have a good time? Why can't they both get pops?
They can. I just think that ultimately, not that you always need a happy ending, but I think whoever's more over in London is probably going to win in Tony's mind.
The issue is that Mariah was someone can correct me below, but I think she was bigger in Stardom in Japan than her on the indie scene in the UK, and I think Tony has more reps in the UK scene.
That's
Take that
fair.
what you will.
That's fair, but yeah, I guess you need more. So I don't know. it's gonna be interesting. Who do you all have in this match? Ultimately, sometimes I hate doing this, but because it's fun. But Nikki and I agree. I
really thought you were gonna go Mariah, to be honest. When you told me which ones we disagreed on, I was a little surprised.
I just think that she's just so much more over, and like leaving her and maybe taking Mariah to a whole other like mental level after losing to her in her home, just like what McIntyre happened recently. They probably saw that and like, oh well, we could make her even more of a mega heel and more ruthless and over the course of the next X amount of months.
I don't know if it was her promo Collision or Rampage last week, but I just thought she's like, I'm gonna have the stiffer chin, I'm gonna have the bigger tip, so you better watch out for that shoe.
Yeah, I just think ultimately that makes the most sense to just like keep it going. The feud, I mean, it had the big not denouement, what's the word? It's like the big climax, right? With her turning at Owen Hart, which wasn't that long ago. So you could still
September, July
10th,
I believe it was. The only thing I'm worried about, like her, because again, Mariah brought it up last week when she did the vignette, that her loss basically last year kind of was the catalyst for the Toni Storm gimmick. And is this like a gimmick that it's like, all right, it's been a year. Do we need Toni to do something else now? Has it run its course?
Maybe it might have. I'm not sure. Like it's a very.
I don't know. I love it. I think I hope there's still some. I don't know. I'd rather. I was gonna say I'd rather have her lose to someone bigger. No offense to Mariah. I know that the story's there. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play this. I do think that Mina gets involved somehow.
Oh, for sure.
Because you need, like, with what she's done, she needs to be involved in the storyline.
You're not gonna fly her out to do a promo with her boobs if she's not getting involved in this match.
Fair enough. So, moving along, we both agree. We got 2 more matches, and then we got SmackDown and calls. So we're trying to hammer through.
Oh, girl.
Hammer through as much as we can. You know, when pay-per-views happen, we go a little bit longer because we got.
I was like, what other match we have?
We have 2 more matches in AEW.
I forgot the whole match.
I can't believe you forgot it either, because how could you?
I know. I really, once I realized, I was like, nah.
Yeah, you got to be all in.
It's the hair dye getting in my head.
For MJF, Will Ospreay. All in.
Bruh.
MJF. Is this considered the I guess it's considered the AEW American Championship now.
Yes.
So MJF, which coming off of the heels of what was arguably the match of the year on Dynamite, hold on, I got a picture.
That's a couple weeks.
250.
Yes, this match is incredible, and I know, like, I don't know. I tried to talk about it on our podcast, and I feel like no one was having it.
So who you got, and what are you thinking? Well, first I'll ask you this.
Okay.
My question is, does the international title, okay, does that return?
Yes.
If Ospreay wins?
Yes.
So we're getting rid of the American.
Yes, he took it out of the trash bin.
Oh.
And that's the thing also, flippers. Is it All Out or is it Arthur Ashe? Again, there's too many things happening. Pac has a match. I believe it's All Out. The 7th. So I don't see
Pac's the next challenger. Yeah.
Yes, he's the next challenger. I don't see it being Pac and MJF for an American belt. Give me Ospreay versus Pac for the international belt. I love MJF, but I also very much love Ospreay. Think Ospreay wins. Honestly, I told you before, I think this match should open.
I think it very well will.
He opened and
Very
closed
well.
last year. Have him open again. I feel like with MJF, if MJF's not closing, he should be opening.
Agreed.
Again, I don't know if you watched all his interviews when he was in. He had that match with Michael Oku. It wasn't at Progress, but he's whatever it is. But he had that match with Michael Oku, and then Ospreay came out afterwards because I think he's gonna come out like Apollo Creed, living in America, doing the whole big thing. Because again,
that'd be great.
The shout out to Cultaholic, who Jack the Jobber interviewed him and alluded to, like, hey, he's like, oh, like totally pulled a CM Punk, like or was it Moxley? He's like, I've never seen any of the Rocky movies, so there's like, you're coming out doing the big Apollo. I almost said Apollo Crews. Apollo Creed entrance with the hat and the trunks, the living in America. Is James Brown still alive? I don't think
No, he's not.
But it was like, can you have an impersonator come out and do that thing? That would be incredible. He can do the big entrance, but I think it makes all the sense in the world, especially you're in Wembley. Again, MJF's kind of your foreign heel.
Yeah.
I think it makes all the sense in the world to put it on Ospreay, as much as I love MJF. Again, either way, I'm happy with. I think they're going to put on a banger. But I'm going Ospreay.
I tend to agree. I think it's going to be a phenomenal match. Like, we saw the first one go the distance. It has to open if you went the distance the last time. So you have to give them enough time to at least get a half hour in. One more point. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry. So when he beat Michael Oku last week, or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, he hit the Tiger Driver. So it's very much the story of, is Ospreay going to hit the Tiger Driver? And will he cave and do it and hit MJF with it? Or would MJF hit it? Ospreay kicks out of it, goes into whatever store or whatever move you call it. I guess the Hidden Blade, or what's the other one he does? The
Stormbreaker.
Right. I confuse his with like Tony Storm's, and I always want to confuse their moves titles. But is that the case? Would like Max hit it and he kicks out and does something, or does he hit it on Max and Max doesn't kick out? I think the story of this match is who's going to hit that move.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'll be really interesting to see. It's going to be a factor in the match. I agree with you. Ultimately, Nikki and I do agree that Will Ospreay merges with the new international, the old international. Yeah. He pulls it out of the garbage as the new title, or as the old title.
Nope.
You can't do it.
I did it once.
Do you want to try?
No, it's fine. I don't want to look silly.
Go ahead. No, please do.
No, because it's like oh, Jesus. We can't. Move on. I can't do cool hand movements.
Hold on.
Yeah, next, move on.
She won't do it.
No.
She won't do it.
I already punched the microphone in the face. It's probably all...
Unbelievable.
Move on.
But regardless, we both agree that, in this case, Will Ospreay is going to win back his
restore
the title. Brings us finally to the main event of AEW All In. Swerve Strickland defending the AEW World title against Bryan Danielson in a title versus career match. So, is this the end of Bryan Danielson? Oh my God.
I know we do it all the time. I feel terrible.
Or is this the end of the reign for Swerve, arguably the best WWE, AEW built up wrestler? Who wins? And well, first off, actually, I shouldn't say that. Not who wins. That wasn't the question I wanted to ask just yet. My question is a couple things on this match. Because you talked about family. Like, does Brie Garcia get involved?
Apparently, they're all supposed to be there at ringside. It's so crazy that you called her Garcia.
Yeah, well, I double checked. I'll be
Yeah,
honest. I
no,
almost
the thing.
told
That's
Bella.
what they go. They go by the Garcia twins, but it's just weird to see it like written out as like Brie Garcia. He couldn't be a vegan because he couldn't stop eating Brie. Not to get this beautiful man. Oh,
But does she like because of all the family
I don't think
comments?
she'll get involved. Like, was she gonna be like a Cody Rhodes mom's like slap Swerve? Like,
Yeah, like
I don't
something
know.
like that. I don't know.
I think she'll be like
Maybe slap. What's his name? Oh my god, my boy.
oh, Prince
Nana.
Nana? No,
Not that he needs to be slapped, but like maybe.
I rather because I love my Bella twins, or Garcia twins, but I don't. Bree's acting's not great.
The other question I have, and if I find it, well, yeah, here we go. Does the Casino Gauntlet winner cash in during or after this match?
It's not like a Money in the Bank
Oh, you can't.
chip. I think they set up again. I could be wrong, but I don't think they get like a chip that they can cash in. I think it's gonna. Be
I thought it's like like where you get it at any point in time because to me, maybe we need clarification on this, Tony Khan. But like to me, this means that like what we predicted earlier, right? Hangman Page comes into this match, and this is what I kind of teased a little bit earlier. Let's say Hangman Page wins the Gauntlet, and you can get a match whenever you want. What if he wants to go into this match and make it a triple threat to where Hangman Page somehow, just hear me out, if it's possible, I don't know if it's possible, but Hangman Page is in this match and takes the fall that loses Bryan Danielson's career and keeps him going.
I don't think it works like that.
But I'm just saying that's an out
No.
booking wise that you
I
can
would
create.
hate that so much.
I know, but
I don't mean to like shit in your cereal, but like that sounds terrible.
You did shit in my cereal.
You're
Thank you very much. But I think it's an angle to keep like, all right, if he says he's retiring and he loses, but he didn't take the fall, so he didn't really lose. But he has to honor.
What is the? Sorry, go finish before I go.
No, he just has to honor the match because he didn't know, and then that's like the kind of loophole for him coming back. It's like, well, there was 3 people in the match that I agreed to, and that's like a swerve.
But do you think that?
Swerve, why not drop?
Oh Lord. That Bryan Danielson is kind of like the sort of old school Undertaker, like if you're going out, go out your back. I think it would do more, and that's why I yelled at Stan last week. It'd do more for that belt and for Swerve if he got a clean win over Bryan. Even a win over Bryan, I would prefer a clean win. But I feel like Danielson taking the belt and vacating it, because that's also the rumor he's supposed to get surgery again. I don't want it to like be a win and dump when Swerve beating Bryan would be huge.
It would be. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think that they've booked themselves into. They painted themselves into a corner. They booked themselves into a corner.
I think Bryan can take this. He's such a legend, and everyone adores him. Everyone loves him. Him losing and not being an AEW champion takes nothing away from his incredible career. Hall of Fame worthy, whatever Hall of Fame you want to put him in, there's a million of them. It takes nothing away. I think he can only do more if he takes it.
Maybe I think he could make a run with the belt. That being said,
then who would you rather take? Then who would take the belt off Bryan?
I don't know yet. I don't.
Well, you got 3 months, sister. Book it.
Whoever you want to build up in the next 3 months. No, you can build up any challenger in the next 3 months with good booking. Like, Hangman Page, yeah, bring him back up, yeah, build him back up. Just keep let him do the not John Moxley, but oh my God, Brian Pillman, like unhinged, like Stone Cold, like all that stuff. Let him do that, and kind of be like a anti-hero with the Elite. That you don't know if he's a face or a heel, right? Like that idea, I like that better.
No, but wouldn't it be more impactful for Hangman to take the belt off Swerve? Because when their initial rivalry. Swerve went to his house and was like, put a shirt in his baby's crib. Like,
Right,
him
but-
taking, like...
What's saying that he can't do that as a challenger? And the feud still goes on if Swerve's the challenger versus if Hangman. You don't need to take the belt off of him to.
Eddie Kingston's not going to be ready, and don't even talk about that promo with me on Collisions. I love him more than
Ed knows how to troll you real well.
I know. I love Eddie Kingston more than I should.
Ultimately, Nikki and I disagree. This is one of the rare ones. I got Bryan Danielson having a run with the belt. Tony likes his feel-good moments. I think this is going to be a feel-good moment for him in Wembley. Bryan's wrestled all around the world. Let him get his last little run in, even if it's for 2 or 3 months, and put over someone else on their back with the belt. Maybe.
There's oh god. Again, I feel
You can build somebody up in 3 months if you book it right.
You think Tony can? What has he done in 3 months? Who has he built up in 3 months? You're like, oh my god, put the belt on that man. That he's not pulled the trigger on.
He's not pulled the trigger on? I don't know yet. I have to think about it. I have to really, really think. Like
Make me angry.
you can book the right
They
people.
should have Wardlow serial too. I loved Wardlow, and they did nothing with him, and he keeps getting flipping injured. Like, I hate it.
Yeah, Wardlow. Yeah, bring Wardlow in. There you go. Wardlow's a decent name.
Wardlow has to take the belt off MJF. Let me play with
Nikki's
my
very adamant about.
I'm so angry right now. As the one person defends AEW on this show, let me book it. Oh,
Seriously,
I'm
unbelievable.
a booze myself.
Unbelievable. Well,
I lied to it.
that being said, so that wraps up our AEW portion, and we're going to quickly glance over the big topic because SmackDown is 23 minutes out, so we want to get you all to there and get some calls in first. But the main takeaway from last Friday's SmackDown, Roman Reigns was taken out by the Bloodline. Here's a quick little recap as we refill our drinks. SmackDown. Roman Reigns taken out by the Bloodline. As we bleed into SmackDown this evening, Nikki, any takeaways from last Friday?
Oh, so Ed was probably the only person that would know this. When I fractured my foot very stupidly in 2015, and my walking boot looked exactly like Jacob Fatu's. So him going in there and hitting moves like hurt my soul. I was like, how are you doing all again? You can't be kids, but it's just like the visual of it. It's like, yeah, I'm in a boot, bitch. So what? And then like you had the beautiful picture of Roman Reigns' face. It's like, oh, Jacob Fatu's your bolt. Like he is going to be your future. Like, look at that.
I know you love it.
Like how, like Roman. Like I don't want to say Roman doesn't sell because like I don't want to. I sell Roman short, but for him to be your tribal chief, your OGC for how many years, and to get a few moves from Jacob, and he's like, oh, "Where's my mother?" Like, it is crazy pants.
Nikki, I just want to confirm this before we. Oh, I had my drop. I can't find it now. Never mind.
What?
No, I had a nice little drop, but I can't find it. Oh, yeah, here we go. No, just to confirm. Here we go. You are down
Oh,
with the OTC?
I'm down with OTC.
Get out with LPP, yeah, you know me. Get out with LPP, yeah, you know me. Get out with LPP, yeah, you know me. Who's down with LPP? Every line's on me. Get out.
But I don't know. I think Jake, and that's the thing you heard. It was like, oh, we're gonna keep Roman away from Jake. We're gonna keep Roman away from Jacob, and then like, yo, he's in a walking boot. We don't know if the splash at SummerSlam was real or not real, KV, but kind of KV, but kind of real easy. And he just came out with the boot and looked bananas. And I'm here for it. I'm ready for Survivor Series. Give me the old versus the new. Have Jacob. Oh my God, have Jacob pin. Maybe probably not Roman, but
No, it's gonna be Jacob taking out Roman and then Solo pinning him.
yeah, but like
Just like Solo was for Roman, Jacob is for Solo.
yeah. No, I get it. I just feel like that's like the match. I'm sorry, like screw The Rock, don't care, get out of my wrestling. And that's a main match to me. Jacob versus Roman.
Oh yeah, no, it should be its own match. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I think that was the reasoning behind.
I think
SummerSlam.
him going back to Rock would be like too many steps back. Like this is what like Roman wanted to do. He wanted Solo to like have this run and bring in the Tongans and bring in all the other family. Like
Yeah, I wonder. So my question is like, first off, does Roman show up tonight?
apparently he's not going to be around for another couple weeks.
Yeah, which
Again,
he
if
should.
you believe the sheet. What again? Exactly, like that face, and then his signature, his power bomb move with his previous brother. He should be taken off TV for a while, but apparently he's supposed to show up at like September, whatever that 16th. No, 6th. It's not whatever. He was
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks from
advertised
today.
for a show, but then he was taken off the show. So like let him like come back and like whenever maybe Solo has a match at Bad Blood, and have Roman come back for that, and that leads into your Survivor Series War Games match. Again, like Roman off TV for a little bit is not a bad thing. Let it breathe a little bit. Let them leave them wanting more.
That's fair. No, I mean, again, like, I don't think he needs to show up, and especially because tonight you have the tag team title match, right? Like the Street Profits challenge the Bloodline. So, in theory, Cody's got backup. So he doesn't need. Not that he's going to solicit Roman right now in kayfabe, but like they're handled with a match tonight. So like if he gets in trouble or whoever, like you have that tag team that's got your back. So they're like that's already situated. So I don't know that. Yeah, he needs to be there tonight.
Do we know if the match is the Tongans or is Jacob gonna wrestle on a boot? Or we don't know, or is it
That's a good
Tongans?
question.
I worry for Tonga.
You mean Camacho?
Yeah, whatever you want to call him. He can't even hold a belt up.
I looked at it right before we came on. Picks women, blah blah blah. Cody Rhodes will be in there.
I don't think that's too much, but
So yeah, so it says Jacob and Tama.
okay, good. Well, Street Profits aren't that winning, and I do like the Street Profits. I think they're just in a tough tag team. I think maybe if they were on SmackDown, maybe I want them for JD.
Well, they get. I think
also the promo on Raw was like Jay and Sammy wanted to get the tag belts. So do you put the Raw tag belts on Jay and Sammy and then have the SmackDown belts on Jacob and Tama and have them having the belts going into War Games?
Nope, wrong watch.
All right, Naomi.
Yeah, that wasn't the right one. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what's weird is like, is he like is Tongaloa? I keep confusing them. But is he like is he kayfabe injured or really injured? Because I really don't know. And like the fact that they put, I get you want to build up, the Bloodline. You want to build up the tag, or Jacob rather, but he's got like God were a big tag team in Japan, and now they come over here and like have they tagged him once? I think we've seen him like at least on the pay-per-view. I don't remember, maybe twice, but like the whole throwing, I get like you want to build up a superstar. WWE is always going to build up single superstars. So I get that component of it, but like throwing him into the tag team and like being like, all right, Camacho, telling you like you're screwed, like this guy's way better than you. I don't know. It's so, to me, it's so weird because like you're diminishing him to build up. You've heard the term robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like that cliche term is what I feel like is.
I don't think they give up for him.
But it's bad. Like again, Jacob has a tremendous upside.
Yeah.
But like, and he could be easy to be a main event. Like, I don't think Tonga Loa will ever do that, and I can confidently say that. But to take away from a tag team specialist, right?
Again, I don't think they care. To Camacho's, and I'm sorry for calling him Camacho, but it's not a priority. It's Solo and it's Jacob, and then again, it's like they see more in Tama because again, that's your right hand man. That's the same with Jay. And I honestly feel the same way. They say more in Jay than they do with Jimmy, and that's why they're the right hand man. So it's just like you're just the other person, and again, that's in wrestling. You need a person to be that person.
Well, Tama Tonga is another guy that's getting, I feel like, really, really like lost in the shuffle, so to speak, because like he came in and you're like, oh my god, he's gonna be a big deal. Like he's a good wrestler. What's that?
He's a champion.
Yeah, that's true. But he's a champion with a tag team partner that's not his tag team partner. I guess he is.
You can say that about so many people in history. Like, and now it's okay. We can go on this diatribe all day, baby. But everyone has their role. We're all the world's but a stage, and men and women are merely players.
That's fair.
I can't. After a couple cocktails, I
can't. You did well.
Shakespeare to you.
You did well enough.
I have the book upstairs. But yeah, I don't know. We got some LA Knight stuff that's working. The tag match. I don't know. You got 10 minutes. Let's get to the.
Yeah, let's get to these calls. Again, we got LA Knight defending tonight against Santos Escobar. I was close. We have the tag team titles on the line tonight with the Bloodline and Street Profits. 6-woman tag match going on tonight. So a lot to get through. If you want to chime in on it, feel free to call in.
One thing. Last week, I know me talking about Nia Jax, but Pretty Deadly doing a song and dance. Yes, boy. Go on.
Yes, I want them with Tiffany.
Yes, boy.
Oh, here we go. Don't bury lead. Our buddies, catch them tonight at 10. They're doing a SmackDown recap. I'll probably pop in there, guys. LA Knight. Yeah. We're
terrible at it, but yes, no, excited. There's a lot to talk about. There's so much. Like there's 100 million hours.
Exactly, but we do not have 100 million hours, unfortunately. So that being said, let's get to whatever we can get to. If you want to call in, feel free to call in. We're going to open up the phone lines, and they are officially phone lines are now officially open.
Huh?
If you want to know how to call in, look in the description of the video and you will find the link to call in.
Huh?
If you want to be on camera, turn on your camera.
Huh?
If not a big deal. But we're looking forward to it. That being said, he called in earlier to rant and rave
best friend
about his favorite wrestler, and we're gonna let him come back in and finish his rant and raves, but not before he gets his intro one more time for the ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, he's doing an encore. We're bringing him in. His name is Ed.
Oh, hey.
Ed,
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back in. You made it through.
Man, my disinterest in that like in that picture is my actual disinterest in that match. Like it's like spot on, guys. And how dare you guys besmirch the aura of Tongaloa?
Listen,
Man.
the aura.
Yeah. Yeah, he adds, all right? He adds.
What does he add?
Rap problems?
Yeah, exactly. Listen, if it wasn't for him, Bloodline 2.0 would not be what it is. for as good as Jacob Fatu is, for as much as I've been singing his praises.
I'm really
Tongaloa.
trying to figure out if
What
like
a guy.
there's all the memes of like him, like everything he does, like the low blow, punches in the corner,
Can't hold up
the belt.
right?
Like, is he just doing it to troll people now?
At
Like,
this point, I have no idea, but it's one of those, like, I mean, Nick, you said earlier that, like, you know, God has been a big deal forever, and then we're just now seeing all the highlights of how shit he's been in New Japan forever. Like,
I guess. I mean, well, that's the thing. Like how many of these guys and like they're masked by WWE. Oh, you were in WWE. Like, oh my god, remember she never wrestled. What the hell was her name? The red-headed.
Eva Marie?
Yeah, like she was the biggest. Like she was never gonna wrestle. Like there's so many people that get masked because of the fact that they're in a tag team. Or whatever. It's really what worries me. I really hope that I'm not like I'm gonna use this term, pun intended, jaded, but like that she's not protected because she's with everybody around her that's veterans and things like that. But I felt like that, and this is gonna sound crazy, like 10, 15 years ago, when Legacy was around with Cody Rhodes, and like I thought DiBiase and like obviously Orton, but DiBiase was going to be the breakout star of that group, and Cody was just kind of there. And now here we are 10 years later, and Cody Rhodes is this the mega
You're
star.
wearing a Cody Rhodes shirt.
Exactly.
right? Like, yeah. Like that, yeah, that speaks volumes. I was gonna say, like, it's interesting you say that, because not that I thought that DiBiase was gonna be the breakout star. 10, 15 years ago, I thought Legacy was just it was a neat little idea, but I'm like, neither of these guys really feel like a big deal. And why does Cody Rhodes look like the most naked default creator wrestler in a video game? Yeah, and hearing him talk about it too, just him being like, why did I not wear knee pads? Why he didn't wear knee pads, it makes sense, but like, it just didn't work, especially for his size. But like, I think I'm one of the only guys that liked his team with the Ascension as like the Cosmic Wasteland or whatever. I'm like, you could have done something with him. But I also wish that we got like the Cody Rhodes industry stuff, or like once he broke away from Legacy and was like doing his own stuff, like all the dashing stuff and the undashing Cody Rhodes, it's all good. Like I was like, give this guy a microphone forever. And now we're here, and now he's arguably one of the biggest stars ever.
Yeah, I mean, but how much of that has to do? Like, I feel like there's some like, so I went like 6 months ago, whatever it was. You go to get your teeth cleaned. Like my dentist, his son works at the same office, right? He's gonna inherit that. Like I know people that are like do like different professions that inherit. Like when you're born into it, I think there's something to it. Like Bray, right? Like Cody, Bray, like some of these guys just understand the business from such a young age because they've been around it for so long.
Yeah, I mean, and to your to just add to what you're saying, you left out David Flair. What a talent. Doesn't get brought up enough. Like, have you seen him run the ropes? Have you heard his theme song? Have you seen his Titantron? What a star.
I knew some sarcasm was coming.
Some of them get it, some of them don't.
No, but like
exactly.
You Randy's bigger than his father?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like Randy Orton. Exactly.
Yeah, but can you say Cody's bigger than Dusty?
Roman.
You could say Roman is bigger than his father, but is Cody bigger than Dusty is a very interesting question.
So it's fucking Dusty Rhodes.
Well, right, yeah. But we know that. We know he's fucking Dusty Rhodes. But does the younger generation that loves Cody, do they know?
That's like
very true.
I mean, yeah, like how much of that is influenced by the fact that like you grew up watching like if you're an old school wrestling fan, like you didn't need to win belts to be impactful and to be
No, look at Taker.
Yeah.
For the longest time, he didn't need it. I mean, like they gave it to him early. I mean, everybody forgets that he beat Hogan at what? Survivor Series 93?
Then that was yes, because then they took it back at the Tuesday, whatever that was.
Yeah, it was like Tuesday, Death Tuesday, or whatever it was.
Tuesday in Texas.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, like I don't know, like
Yeah, but then Hogan complained that he took the he gave.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
Oh, you got me, brother.
Fucking Hulk Hogan's a piece of shit.
Hogan fucking sucks.
Piece of shit. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good because I'm so glad that his biopic got canceled. You see that?
I really wanted to see Chris Hemsworth playing.
Yeah, that's the thing. You kind of want to see him do it, but I don't want him to profit off any of it.
No,
But give me like a 10-minute promo vignette of like Chris Hemsworth as.
Give me the test footage, right?
Yeah.
That's all I need. I don't need a whole like 20-minute promo. Give me the test footage of him like with the shirt and he rips it and he just does a Hogan thing, like whatever.
Yeah.
Works for me. Maybe it doesn't, brother. Like it's just really yeah, like speaking of test footage, and I'm gonna left turn hard. Mostly because the Crow just came out, the new one.
Which actually, I don't know. It looks kind of good to me.
For every one thing it does right, it does two things wrong. I was gonna say, but man, I saw some test footage of Jason Momoa as the lead. No, he was going to be, and then that project got canceled in 2018, and then we got what we got now. But man, the test footage is just him walking around outside with the makeup on, like shirtless.
Do you have it? Can you send that to me immediately?
Ed, send that. Ed, I swear, if you send it to our email, you will be kicked off the show in so many seconds. You need milliseconds. You wouldn't even have enough time to get kicked off the show.
It's a 14-second video test footage. It's very good.
Back in the day, they said Hansen did an interview and they said Mbop was like an infinite amount of time. That's exactly the amount of time you get kicked off the show.
Listen, not for nothing. Like, if I'm never gonna make Justin Bieber money or like Taylor Swift money or like like that, I would take Hansen Mbop money in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I'm thinking about doing a Hansen drop at some point in time. I don't know how I mean, it works to a lot of things, and it probably will show up at some point.
Speaking of
drops are going to happen on this show.
No, that's fair. And I was going to say, speaking of Hogan, getting somebody like Hogan that wants to try to reinvent himself to be hip with the kids, having him in like a Hansen t-shirt, being like, "But little dude," is hilarious to me. I don't know. That tickles me.
That will save his image.
No, nothing's going to save that guy's image at this point.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know who's worse in the public eye, him or Ric Flair.
I love Ric Flair so much. He's killing me.
What does that say about me that I rather have Ric Flair than?
Ric Flair just wants to have sex with you. That's really. I don't know.
Oh, is that all? Is that?
I don't know.
I mean, like, as long as we get past that stage of like he's it's like. And I should do this as a Jet fan.
I don't know if I want to go down this hole.
The Joe Namath. I don't know if you ever saw this, but like, because I like as big a football fan as I'm me. But like the Jets, Joe Namath was on Monday Night Football, and the sideline reporter interviewed him, and he was hammered.
I think I've seen this.
It's actually I should somehow I kind of want to do a drop of it just because it's ridiculous. But like, he basically was just like. She's interviewing him about the game during the game, and he's just like, I could care less about the Jets. He's like, you're pretty. I want to make out with you. And
he's like glassy eyed and swaying, and his eyes are all over the place. Yeah. I've seen this. It's not good. Not a good look. You're pretty. I just want to kiss you. Like it's not a good time. You know what else isn't a good time, guys? The Final Testament. It's just not clicking. I don't know what's going on. You got a group of people. They're all awesome. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why Carrion's just a mustache twirling like 1950s comic book bad guy. But it's not working.
I don't know if it's a Switch brand. Like I'm really done with him and Woods, to be honest. I did like the promo last week, but I'm just like, all right, we're done.
Yeah, no, and I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a digital exclusive of Carrion and Scarlett leaving.
Yes, I saw
And-
that very much.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So he was pretty much like bouncing ideas off of her, going, "Well, we can do this, we can do that." He's like, "I can go steal a truck and just drive it through Xavier Woods' living room," and I'm like, "I love this. Give me that. That sounds awesome." And she's like, "Don't worry about it. You've already planted the seeds of the New Day's demise. It's time to move on. Like everything around you will die eventually," is what she says to him. And I'm like, "That's awesome. I love this idea, but." Can we like get to a point where he's just gonna like snap his fingers and then everything he's put in motion happens?
Because there's I feel like so much that they left kind of on the table.
Listen, I was focused on the fact that she was like, "You have all this pent up energy, and I know a way to take care of it." Now,
Yeah. The look on his face, he just
Dude.
looks like, "Oh, did I ever tell you I love the way you think?" Like, I don't know. It's
I was like, "Yeah, I agree. I don't give a shit at all about Xavier Woods anymore." When you mentioned that,
right. No, it's one of those. Shave off his mustache, give him his goatee back, shave his head, make him look unhinged. Like,
exactly. Ed, great points before we let you go. Last shot here.
oh, Darby Allin sucks.
Well put,
What
Ed.
is there?
Ladies and gentlemen, Ed. We got one more on the line. Nikki, new caller this week.
Okay.
So we're bringing him in. He's commented a lot. Bring him on the show. Herman, the professor. Welcome in.
Hello.
Cheers.
Thank you for having me.
Hey,
Cool.
cheers. On this show we say, "What are you thinking? What are you drinking?"
I'm not drinking because I just had back surgery 2 weeks ago. So
Oh my goodness.
Hey man, I hear you on that end. In this show, you don't need to drink alcohol. I just one of those. You're at a bar, you can serve alcohol at the bar too.
Your soda, your club soda, your water, we're here for.
oh my goodness.
So, Herman, what are you thinking?
What I am thinking, I was gonna tell y'all about my my group's wrestling app.
Yeah.
We have a wrestling app that's on Roku, on Apple TV, and it's on Amazon and Amazon Stick. And basically, we have different types of wrestling things on there. We have documentaries, we have bios, we have comedians, we have movies with wrestlers as the stars. We have a 2K promotion that we do. We have action figures promotions. We have a collectible. We have just everything you could think of. And the best part of all of that, it is free.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything like a one-stop shop for all your wrestling fans. Huh?
Yes, sir. Because everybody doesn't understand wrestling is not just a one thing. There's so many different angles to wrestling that you can look into. We actually have a documentary talking about the savage side or the hardcore, if you will, of wrestling. So we just want to have a place where wrestling fans can go get your wrestling fix in, doesn't cost you anything, and just enjoy yourself as a wrestling fan.
Exactly. That's what it should be, right? You know?
Oh yeah, I
You
think
want
so.
to make the most of your
A
experience.
community.
Say again, I'm sorry.
No, it's just like you're building a community.
Oh yeah. And that's why our name is the Wrestling Society Network, because we want the society of wrestling fans to enjoy it.
Awesome. Well put. I mean, yeah, no, I like that concept. We love that idea. So we definitely support that here. So say it again for all our listeners here.
It is the Wrestling Society Network, and we're a society for all the wrestling fans to enjoy themselves.
Awesome. Wrestling
Love it.
Society Network. Love it. So
Yes.
Herman, what are you thinking this last week? What are your takeaways from wrestling this week?
One thing is, if they don't break up the New Day, I'm going to shoot everybody, including the Final Testament, because it's gone on too long. I'm sick of it. I want it to end.
So are you an Odyssey Jones fan or what?
I'm happy that he's gotten some TV time. It only took 2 years for him to find something for him. But
we were talking about that. We're like, he was drafted. And I gotta give her credit. Nikki said it. He was drafted like 3 years ago, and no one knows where he's been or where he's been stashed. But he's found a way to get a paycheck for 2 years without wrestling.
Hey, he could have been one of the cut people. So I appreciate the fortitude of hanging in there, and they're finally doing something with him. I'm happy for him.
I don't know if it's just because of his size. He I know they just signed, and maybe it's because recent memory, but bias, but Mark Henry's son just got signed, but he reminds me so much of when Mark Henry debuted. He was so big.
Exactly. When I first saw him, I didn't realize he was that much big. And then when he grabbed the AOP, I'm like, Jesus, it's like me grabbing a little toddler. This ain't even fair.
That spot, I wonder how much he worked on that spot, or you know what I mean? Because that's 600, it's easily 650 pounds deadlift.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it made it look so easy, so good. It looked such a phenomenal move.
The thing is, I tell you this too. And I have to agree with Woods on this part. You can't replace Big E. There's just no way. So it puts him in a bad position. And Woods has been just frustrated for so long that it's like, okay, I understand. And it's one of those things that, truthfully, I hate to see them break up the New Day, because they are the modern day Ricky Steamboat. They've been together for so long. Everybody's been expecting them to break up, and they haven't. So in a way, I don't want to see them break up, but they've been just so, gimmick has been so ran down. They get beat every time. And just to hear Kofi Kingston, the former WWE champion, is so, it's like saying a dirty word in your mouth. You can't believe it. It's like, what? Jeez, he was a world champion. Jeez.
It's crazy. I get, because I remember, so, I don't know where you're from, but we're from New Jersey, and I went to Madison Square Garden, and I remember this is 8-9 years ago when the New Day was in their first initiation of the heel, legit, they weren't doing all the unicorn, all that garbage. They were in the iteration of we're serious, we're gonna kick the crap out of everyone for the next year and a half. And where they've come, it's been, I don't want to say a fall from grace, but it has been the last 2-3 years since Big E's been injured, or everything's going on.
Yeah, and I think too, because the first run, when they first got together, nobody thought they could do anything with it. And they've changed so many people's mind and has done so much for the kids, and it's great. But all gimmicks come to an end. Mm-hmm. And they're not trying to find something new for them. And it's like everybody's done something but Woods. I understand why they go that way, but some things are good if you go with slow builds. Then some you need to get there quick to really sell it. And I think the New Day is about past their prime. I love them, but if you don't do something with Woods, he's going to be another never been star.
And he's so talented too. He's great promo.
I think that's the thing with New Day. I feel like it just got stagnant. You only do so much, and then them, unfortunately, kind of Big E getting injured. And I know they said they didn't want to break up, but a heel Xavier Woods makes me so excited, because I think he's so good on the mic. So good on the mic. And I would love for him to maybe feud with Kofi at first, but I just think he could eviscerate people on the mic. And I would love to see that little little change in him.
Yeah, and I'm all about too. If they break them up, let Big E bring them back together.
Yeah,
Mm.
give it like a 6-month thing, or like next Mania or whatever. Like bring Big E brings all the babies back together.
Exactly, and I would be okay with that. Another thing that's kind of irritated me is CM Punk. You can't put him in too many different matches because he's fragile. He's worse. It's a shame. I had back surgery 2 weeks ago, and I'm still more healthier than him. I can have a better match. But
it's a fair point too. It's a fair point.
I respect him, but he's such a big hypocrite on so many different levels that it just gets on my nerves. And for this storyline that they're running, that he's getting revenge on Drew. You're the one that started this crap. He's the one did this. He's the one that screwed Drew. It is so funny that when the villain is actually right in the story, but the fans still like the other guy, so they're just gonna run with it. And this is what I see with Punk. It's like you shouldn't have touched him. You shouldn't have been interfering. They're letting you get away with it. And I thought they were gonna do something with Wade Bird going in like, hey, y'all are wrong for this. I was like, please do it. Please do it. It makes sense. And of course, they didn't.
No.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. Like, there's this storyline, we were talking about it earlier. Like, it's a storyline like we can't figure out. Like, McIntyre is 150% justified in everything. That's why I'm like, I don't think he's a heel. Like, I want him to win because he deserves it because he got screwed over twice for the belt from this a-hole who just like literally, oh, I'm sorry, like you hurt my arm, and then you bragged about you hurt my arm. Like, okay, like that's not enough for me. Like, I still believe McIntyre is right in this whole segment.
Yeah, and this is another thing that just chipes me. Why can't we have two Money in the Bank winners hold on to the briefcase at the same time? I mean, everybody knows you're gonna have two winners each year. Why do they try to rush one out the gate and then have the other one just sit and just wait and like, hey, we still got the briefcase? It's like, come on.
It's the excitement of the pay. I think it just, I think it's like a monetary thing. Like like the pay-per-view just happened. We have to keep it like fresh with everybody. So like, oh my God, there was a cash-in that failed or whatever.
The same storyline on both shows, because if you have two people chasing, like, well, they won't. Are they going to cash in? Or are they going to do this? You definitely don't want the same storyline on both shows. So that's where they hot shot one or the other. I don't like it either. Like, I'm trying to play devil's avocado here, but I don't like it. But I guess I can get it.
Well, no, I get it, but just because I get it doesn't mean it works.
Agreed, sir. Agreed.
And on top of that, why do they put the superstars in the match that don't need it? Drew gets world title shots. Why would you put him in it? I thought the Money in the Bank was supposed to be for stars that never get championship shots. Your mid-carders to help them build up to become main eventers.
No, it's a great point. Like, yeah,
they wanted to put the belt on Priest, but they didn't want Seth to drop the belt.
John Cena was a Money in the Bank holder. Like, ugh.
I watched Randy Orton win it in Philly.
Yes, Randy won it. Brock stole it. I mean,
Brock, yeah.
Mustafa Ali was holding it, and it was like Brock Lesnar's music hits, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I have to not hold it now." I'm like,
Yeah,
no, I don't like that.
I forgot how to grab things.
And that's the thing that's such a trope. Like, music hits, and everyone like it's like freeze tag. Like, they have to like stop what they're doing because the music hits.
Yeah, it's always funny. Well, Professor, this has been a blast. Last shot before we let you go. Hopefully you come back next week. We love having you on.
Oh, definitely. If y'all have me, I'll be back. But if you look up our app, it is under WSN. And again, we're on Roku, we're on Fire Stick, we're on Apple Plus, and check out our website. Our website is WrestlingSociety.com. You will find a lot of great info there, and you can help do our once a week indie wrestler of the week. You get to vote. We're trying to put a spotlight back on indie wrestling, because without the indie wrestling, the big wrestling wouldn't be the same. So thank y'all for having me and giving me a little time.
Hey, our pleasure. Well, we got our pick. It's Zach Ruby, the only gem in the professional wrestling industry.
Yeah.
Who's got a show next week, and we're hoping to have him on. I think he's a little busy tonight, but hopefully next week he'll come back on and promote that show. So that's our pick.
Cool. Hey, go on there and vote.
Absolutely. Well, Professor, it was a pleasure.
But,
you, sir, we'll catch you hopefully next week.
all righty.
You, sir, are, as we say, cut off at the bar. Fun times, new friends.
We have so many new friends. So many new friends.
It's exciting.
All our new friends come back next week. I'm so excited. It's such a good show. Making new friends.
Getting us back into our little rhythm.
Oh my god, I was thinking
Boxing. It's like
don't box out a boxer.
You can't box out. Well, our boxers.
Our boxer's been passed out for
been boxed out
5 hours.
But
we've been doing this for like 4,000 years, haven't we?
I know. Well, it was a lot to get through this week, and we did it positively. I think it was a very successful show.
Mhm.
I'm very proud of everybody, and I think the only really way to send this off is with our
I'm terrified of this.
our not so COO.
I have not cleared this, kid.
Paul Triple H Levesque will bring us home, ladies and gentlemen.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. Banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
We were. It was a very successful event. I agree. Couldn't put it any better.
I love you so much.
I've been waiting on that for a long time.
I'm watching the vignettes that he makes because I want to be surprised. Like whatever the one I broke me like 3 weeks ago. Oh my god, I love that so much.
Well, that's going to be a staple of the show for every closer. I've been trying to find a good closer, and that's probably the best way we could do it.
Play the other one.
I don't know. Well,
MDK.
Oh, well, in case you didn't know who you were watching.
This is Nick Gage, MDK Joey, and you're watching the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. MDK all fucking day.
Another Nick, another Jersey kid telling you to watch this show.
So,
Girl.
that being said, it's been a fun couple hours.
It's been a long happy hour.
Happy hour gets extended an hour. Every once in a while, it gets, every pretty much Friday. But that being said, this has been a blast. Thank you all for joining us. Until next time, we are here next Friday at 6. We will preview Bash in Berlin and a bunch of other events. So if you're new here, come back next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for Bash in Berlin previews, Raw, SmackDown recaps, previews, AEW Dynamite. We cover it all as much as we can within an hour and a half time span. But that being said, you do not have to go home.
But you can't stay here. Bye.